So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Dominic from the Ghost Club.
And we're asking him some questions say about his new single, likes and comments. So congrats on that, by the way. How are you personally feeling about it? Since the time recording, it's not officially announced yet.
I'm feeling pretty good about it. This was actually a song that I recorded way back in 2019, like when this was still all very new to me. And the manager I had at the time was like, "No, you shouldn't put that one out." And I'm like, "Why? I like this one." And it's just sat in the collection for a good bit, but now like it came in passing to the people managing me now, and they're like, "This song's really great. Why is this one not out?" And I'm like, "It's good. What?" So I'm just excited. I liked it then, and just glad to have it finally go out.
Oh yeah, the song rocks. I saw that you posted you're working with Secret Friends now. Are you working with Mark over there?
Yeah, Mark, Josh, and Steve. All three of them are on board, and they're all doing a great job.
Well, we love Mark here. We work with him closely, so he's great.
We do.
Mark's such a cool dude.
For real. So is there any meaning behind the single title or cover art?
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Like it was written in, like I said, in 2019 when this first started, and like little backstory on the group. Like when it first started, like I basically got spread around like emo band meme pages, like, "Oh, this is the knockoff Burn and Yuri," because of how I looked at the time. And like it brought a lot of people like onto our like Instagram page, and was getting like a lot of attention. And I'm like, I thought that would be really cool, but it actually kind of sucks. And things started changing a little bit more with like how platforms would prioritize content, and I found myself just like getting addicted to like constantly refreshing every time I posted something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really awful thing to get yourself into, just always worrying about, oh, are people still engaging with my content, are people still liking what I do? And that's even worse now in 22, because like things have progressively gotten worse with how like platforms are prioritizing content now. That TikTok's like king, and Instagram's like following suit. So
yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this single?
Ooh, this guy. What was I doing then? I just like got a bass guitar at the time, and I remember just like kind of fiddling around with the bass line, and it's just simple four chords like A, F, C, and then E. And like I have like a little, you can't see it here, but like there's a little piano. Oh, you can't even see. I can't scroll down to that.
It's okay.
But it was just basically just tapping on a little sample pad, giving a little like simplest beat I could do. And at the time, like I would put in-ears in so I couldn't hear myself, and I would put like the harshest auto tune on my voice and just like kind of noodle like to that loop. And didn't even really have words written for it when I took it into the studio, and we took it in there, and it's like, okay, well, my producer asked like, "What are you feeling about this?" And I'm like, "I really hate the effect social media has like on my day-to-day well-being, because it sucks." So we just kind of just kept writing about that. For me, it just always kind of starts with the general feel of the song before I start adding melody and words. But like I feel like words come last, which I'm trying to do opposite now, because I want to prioritize those first. But that one was just like beat, melody, lyrics last. But
All right.
Oh, all right. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this track and the meaning behind it.
I'm always so very self-critical about me. Run it through my head real quick. Probably I'd trade it all for some confidence. It's like towards the end of the second verse, is like, in the end, it doesn't matter how many likes I end up getting, how far this band goes, how many followers come or go. It's like I would just give that up very quickly if I could just like actually feel cool with what I am, who I am, what I'm doing. So
All right.
or at least at the time when I wrote that song. I would still keep going now. I do feel confident now, but at the time I wasn't feeling very confident at all. But
Mhm.
Good.
So-
I'm happy to hear about that personal growth. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you had said like obviously you wrote the song in 2019, and but you're putting it out now. Do you still like personally like resonate with like what you're saying in the song to this day?
Oh yeah, definitely now since the whole Reels thing came about and the whole TikTok thing came about, because like that's number one thing we hear from like A&R. It's like, well, what are they doing on TikTok? And it sucks because it feels like you have like the power of the world in your hands with TikTok, but like it's like, how do you get there? How do you find an authentic way to punch through noise? Because there are some people that just kind of play the oh, mental illness, I'm taking medication card, and it's like I wouldn't, maybe it's authentic for them but not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like using those platforms to make funny TikToks that have nothing to do with my music. Like, sure, I could maybe do that, but would that actually help? So it's just always trying to figure out what's the way to get through. And
And there's like all these TikTok gurus that like try to give you like a way to break the algorithm, but like no one actually fucking knows what works and doesn't work over there. It's such a mystery.
Yeah, you can't like quantify why people like something. People just kind of do or don't. Like our bassist Logan, his cousin is Joey Valence. I don't know if you've heard of that guy, but he's like actually seriously kind of blown up on TikTok. He has the song Punk Tactics, Underground Sound. He sounds like exactly like the Beastie Boys, but like, I remember like Logan showed me him and he's like, yeah, this is my cousin. He makes music too. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. He sounds like the Beast. But then like all of a sudden he starts making these like really funny and like actual cool TikToks with his music. And like overnight, he's just like, boom, 1.5 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And I'm like,
my God.
I'm like, holy mother of God.
Yeah.
Like good for him for like just, figuring that out. But
hell yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Exactly. Teach me. Crazy.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to the single for the first time? If they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on, is it a workout single, party single? What do you personally recommend?
Oh, this is a driving one, definitely during. I mean, I feel like a lot of artists still go driving at nighttime song, but I can't imagine you're gonna go like to a party and be like, "Hey guys, check this thing out," and then just like that 85 BPM slow beat, just self-deprecation, let's go. Definitely a solo like I'm gonna feel sad now song or something, but
fair enough.
For sure. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this track for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
I don't want to say I hate me because that's way too harsh, but like, validation is essential. Boom. That's a lyric. And that's 3 words.
That's
right
fucking
there,
good.
That's really good. Yeah.
That's also a very good lyric.
Thank you.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the single?
Probably I hope they can just relate to the fact that like people do actually, feel this feeling I get. I mean, I'm hoping other people feel this. Well, not hoping that they feel sad, but I don't think I'm alone in this boat, because like anytime I talk to like other artists or musicians, it's always like, yeah, it's just tough that like I have to basically be a personality online. Which just it's exhausting, because like you want to make sure you're being authentic, because people can spot a phony from a mile away, and you can only be inauthentic for so long before it burns you out. But like also try to find a balance, like, okay, I want to be authentic, but will people like that?
And music also doesn't like pay enough to like be a personality and also be a musician and also like live your normal life. So it's like you have to struggle with that too.
Yeah, I'm stretching myself out at points. Like usually I've always had time to write, but at this past month for me, I haven't even had time to do that. And I'm like, geez, I really just straight up miss doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's rough, because like 2022 is just a whole new year, because like that whole almost corporate way that people would handle their social media just doesn't work anymore. Like you can't just post a single picture anymore because, the Instagram's going to see that and be like, okay, well, that's doing okay, but this post has better engagement. Let's pop that there.
Hmm.
And like now they have that suggested post feature, like your third scroll down's the suggested post. Like I like the picture of it.
It's better than it being an ad.
I liked a picture of a duck, so now like my feed's just all ducks.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at least I like ducks and frogs, so I guess I'm cool with seeing ducks and frogs. But like, I forgot a lot of things existed because like all I'm seeing now are ducks and frogs. But
exactly.
I honestly like prefer the suggested over like an Instagram like suggested ad like every 3 or 4 scrolls. Those were fucking annoying when Instagram was pushing the ever living shit out of those, and they still do. But
yeah, I was gonna say I'm still getting ads and suggested posts. It's like I'm barely getting any actual followers.
Yeah, like people I don't follow at all, like not even in my explore page, just my straight up feed. They're like, oh, you might like this guy, and it's like, well, maybe, but like I'm here to not be on explore page, so like
exactly.
I'm ready to see what my friends are up to,
Yeah,
exactly. And did you get the new Instagram update? I mean, like this is kind of on topic, but like it's not. Did you get the new update? It's ridiculous.
When did that happen?
I have no clue. All I know is I'm like one of the first people to get it, and I need to talk to somebody about like how awful it is. It's like
what does it do?
It's like your main page is basically like the same format as Reels, where it's like you can't exactly. Yeah, it's like you can't like half scroll where it's like you're just reading the description. It's like you're only seeing the post, and then once you scroll, it like slingshots you to the other one. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but if you're imagining Reels, it's basically that, but just for like pictures.
I didn't get that. I really hope it's not that, because that sounds pretty awful.
Yeah.
It's just,
Glory's the only person I know that's gotten this update.
It's awful.
She even tweeted about it too, and like no one responded. So.
Exactly, because everybody's like, "There's no update."
Like I don't want to do this part of this is what we do, but like I don't want to do it. And they're not even improving, they're just progressively making it worse, and like this is going to get back to Zuck, and then like my page is just going to go missing, Well,
they're making the app worse, and then they're also making the algorithm worse, which is just pushing any account down to the bottom of the barrel anyway. So it's like the app is like people don't want to use it anymore, and like that's a problem for creators.
Yeah, like it's one thing for interest to wane over time, but there's people that I've seen like from like at the end of last year that were getting like 10,000 likes on a post and all the engagement out the app, but all of a sudden now I go to their page and they're not even like cracking 1,000, and I'm like, wow. I'm like that's nothing wrong with what you did, you're just literally getting screwed by just because it just sucks, because all these companies want to compete, and then like before TikTok, like Instagram was king, Twitter was king, Facebook was for older people and like birthdays. But now
political
TikTok
posts
is like this all-consuming entity for some people's lives on a day-to-day basis, because like I don't even notice it half the time. Like I'll get a text that's just a TikTok link, and I'll be like, oh, this ought to be funny, and then I'm stuck for like an hour, and I'm like, well, there went an hour of my life, because they've programmed it to prioritize shit that gets people on their app, which is like semi-horrifying.
Yeah,
because they know what you like and they know what's going to make the happy chemicals go off up there. But a lot of ducks for me. I don't know, ducks are cute,
ducks
I guess.
And frogs, yeah.
And with the rise of TikTok, don't even get us started about the waning attention spans and how that fucks artists up.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to be like a film student, and I have a bunch of friends who still are, and it's like that's the worst thing for them to hear. Like, yeah, it sucks to watch like all this hard work and like stuff I put into the projects I do, just for it to like literally get buried under a sea of like cooking videos or funny 10-second one-liners. And that like the attention span thing too is another thing. It's like, man, I miss like watching content over like a span of an hour and a half in a movie. Like it's it sucks, but it's that little hit of whatever's going on up there that your brain likes.
Happy chemicals. Yeah.
And it's
all going to shit.
It really is.
Yeah, Amazon's like taking over the world and whatnot, and it's just horrifying. Like I saw they're like they're working on the neural implants and whatnot, and I'm like, that's the worst thing ever. Please don't do that.
They're what?
Oh yeah, there are companies like actually trying to develop like actual neural links for your brain. That's not conspiracy or nothing. Like that's actual like things that they're trying to do. Like I saw Amazon was trying to like make a chip that could administer antidepressants, which I'm like, that's the most George Orwellian bullshit I've ever heard.
That's so bad. That's not good at all.
Yeah, them and their like relaxation booths they have in their warehouses.
No!
Yeah, that is not good. Yeah, it's all going to shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just I don't think people like Elon Musk should have all the power in the world when they think so absolutely insane and view their workers as just machines. It's insane.
Elon Musk, if you're watching this, fuck you.
Yeah. You're not welcome on the podcast.
Oh, he's not. Oh, so many crypto bros from high school just they love him. They're like, oh,
they're just jerking
for whatever
him off
reason.
online. Like, stop that shit.
Grind set up, man. It's like you ain't grinding. You can live to be 1 million. You're not grinding as hard as or making as much as that guy.
Mm-hmm. It's like
it's
didn't even grind either. It's just
you're gonna need a couple hand me outs.
Born in apartheid Africa,
yeah,
South Africa, to like rich parents, and he does what he does. He makes cars and now spaceships, and now he's the richest guy ever, and that's great.
Yeah,
what a world, man.
we're in strange times. I mean, at least music itself. Like I saw, COVID had the biggest surge of guitar buying like by a wide margin ever, so like hopefully that inspires some new musicians. I did see a lot of people over the past 2 years like pick up a hobby and like run with it, which is cool, but boy did it also make those other things a little worse.
But even like with the pandemic, like at least streaming like was at like an all-time high, like especially at the beginning, because everyone was like, attention spans might be waning, but you can only spend so much time on TikTok. You should go listen to some music as well. So that's I guess a silver lining with that. Yeah,
I mean, if I ever have a song that goes TikTok famous one day, then I'd be like, thank you, TikTok, even though I still don't like kind of like you, but
thank you.
I can't bank on that, because they'll just pick a random song out of nowhere and just run with it.
Yeah.
Or if
you need
like
someone to like do a dance to your song or something.
Pretty much.
I need like Stranger Things to run up that hill with me and get that song.
Oh yeah.
That song, I check the charts every single day on Spotify to see, and like it was Glimpse of Us for a little bit, like fighting it out, but like now Running Up That Hill is like back #1 in the world again.
Oh God.
Which is awesome and hilarious, but maybe someday I'll put a song out and then 40 years later it'll be
in Stranger Things season 104 and on top of the Spotify charts.
Did you guys watch the new season?
I'm not a Stranger Things guy.
So I got like I finished season 1, right? And then I was waiting for season 2, and then I forgot about it, and now season 4 is out. So I haven't been able to get back into it.
Yeah, that's all everyone talks about now too. It's like, hey, did you watch Stranger Things? And it's like, no, I have not, but I have had it spoiled for me already, so
yeah,
I could probably tell you what happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you, like, they always do the most spoiler thing to the coolest character that I'm not gonna like, I'm not even gonna spoil it for anybody else, but fuck whoever spoiled that for me, because I was actually gonna watch it. But
oh yeah.
That's good. The Boys. I don't know if you guys watch The Boys, but
The Boys. I've seen
superheroes.
Stuff,
and
it's all spoiled for me. So again, like Shane said, I could tell you what happens, but have I seen it? No.
Yeah.
I just stick to the spoilers because I don't have much time for like actually watching this stuff.
And the Norm's notes.
I just go on Twitter and the 4 trending tweets that are on my timeline are like whatever spoilers for whatever big show, and I'm like, well, I'm already filled in. I don't have to go watch it now. Oh
man, Twitter. Oof. I feel like that one got like, I don't know what happened to Twitter, but it's just ooh, I don't like going there. It's just
It's a
so
cesspool.
it's so bad.
So toxic. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like it because it sucks because like 2020 happened, all the political stuff happened, and I hate the people that it recommends me to, but it knows that I'm going to look at it and get mad at it. So it's like,
Mhm.
did you see what Marjorie Taylor Greene said? I'm like, I don't want to see your stupid face
No.
at all. Oh my God, but it knows I hate them. It knows I'm going to get a reaction out of it. So it's just
Mhm.
like, okay, I guess I can't go to Twitter now.
Yeah. It knows you're going to want to quote tweet it and say something. And then that's going to trigger another thing that'll push to your page. And then it's
And it'll
literally
trigger-
just an.
It'll trigger her fans to come to your shit, and then suddenly you'll be
Exactly.
fighting with people all day, and that's exactly what Twitter wants.
Yep.
No, it was funny. I remember I had like a random tweet on like my personal page about Bruce Springsteen get like a lot of traction like in like 2020, and I had a bunch of like the trumpets come at me, and like because there's like Bruce Springsteen fans like, oh, I wish he would keep his voice out of politics, even though he's been like a far left leaning
Yeah.
musician since the 70s. And it was about like same-sex marriage, and they're like just saying it's gross in the comments, and I'm like, here's a picture of Bruce Springsteen kissing a guy on stage like all the time,
Yeah.
because he does that on stage all the time, and it's hilarious. Just that's the only thing you can do is just get him back. But it's so insane to think how people just spend their days like hating people
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. Just it's like you people always say, oh, it's not the 60s anymore, and I'm like, before I was like, kind of is, and now I'm like, it's kind of the 40s now. Like it's just why did 6 people get to decide? Like, I thought the Supreme Court was like something high profile cases went to, but it's like now they're just like zealots, I guess, and can decide what we do and don't do. And I'm like, okay, that's horrifying.
They're just like bored, so they're like, let's just go backwards like 150 years. Like that'll be fun. And it's like, shut up, Clarence Thomas. Like
Clarence. This guy's name is
shut
Clarence.
up,
Sorry.
asshole.
Cracks me up every time. Really named
Like,
his son Clarence.
your credit card information got leaked online, you
I know,
fucking
that was
idiot.
the funniest-
That was amazing. Yeah.
That was the greatest thing. It was like a picture of like a crying cat with all their addresses.
Maybe after turning over abortion rights, you don't go out to eat dinner just at a random restaurant, you idiot.
Oh, and then the picture of his face too. It's I can't even imitate his face because it's just like,
Ugh. God.
oh man, life's chipper these days, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's been crazy.
Like I feel like everyone's just kind of like hanging on by a thread at the same time. We're just like smiling and waving back, but fun times, all you can do is laugh at this point, when
Great
things are
times.
just that insane in front of you. But
Sit there and you're like, all right,
This is
whatever.
happening.
Yeah. Not much we can do about it. They tell us to
No.
vote, but it doesn't actually matter because we
No.
don't vote on the Supreme Court. So
yeah, all that time and all that anger and frustration and all that stuff we thought we were doing, and it's like, yeah, they're just like, up yours. We're just gonna do what we want to do anyway, and you can't do jack shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to even go to the state level and make it so own states can, decide election results, which I'm like, that's literally
What?
That's paraphrasing. That's actually not false either. I forget what the case is that they're trying to do a lot of crazy shit. Like people are like, oh, they're coming for this next. And I'm like, that's probably like a slippery slope exaggeration. And then the next day they're like, yeah, we're coming for this, that. And I'm like, holy Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to like make this podcast into like, politic talk hour, but holy fucking Christ.
yeah.
It is bad.
Someone's got to like go in there and like figure out a way to stop them, because they're just like going down the list of like everything that they can possibly reverse, like bring this back to the 1700s. And it's like, dude, you can't do that. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Just gonna have to keep doxing with that crying cat until
Like,
Bring the
dude,
crying cat back.
yeah, like we have this crinkly old piece of paper. Stop erasing things that we wrote in there.
Mhm.
Just stop it.
Oh yeah, the whole patriotism thing going on. Like oh man, it's rough, man.
We could go on for hours, I think.
Yeah.
It's rough. Sorry, I like totally steered this conversation there, but
It's okay.
No, you're all good.
We're
I
having,
mean,
we're having a
yeah.
conversation, not an interview now, and that's what's good.
Mhm.
Western PA is kind of a fucking awful place in points. Like it's like the city is great,
Mhm.
and then as soon as you get outside of Pittsburgh, it's like Kentucky.
Hickville.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not fun. You
Yeah.
can ask Alex because we grew up in the same town, and it's like people here suck.
Mhm.
hmm
It's I am so happy that dude's moving to San Fran and like actually getting out of here. That's
Mhm.
an awesome thing to see
Mhm.
because he's been going at it for a while too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, just notice the squishmallow in the bottom left. I have the same one, except it is blue and named Keith.
Oh my God, Keith!
Yes,
That's
his name is
incredible.
Keith. I don't know where the name came from, but girlfriend just like, yeah, he's Keith. And I'm like, is that his name? Like, was
They're
that
on the tag.
Oh, is that on the tag?
Yeah, my partner makes me read the tags out loud. When my partner has the biggest stack of squishmallows in their room, I sit on that and not the bed. It's more
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, no, that's funny because like we'll go to bed and then she's like, "Do you want Keith tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want him."
Yeah.
So it's the best pillow, man. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out a way to transition into our next question.
I just noticed the fucking Gravedigger poster in the back. That's awesome. That was another meme. The only Gravedigger can save us now. Was that Gravedigger going over them? Like they were cars, and I'm like, oh man.
It's
Gravedigger's like so fucking like unironically cool, like because it's like that was like childhood, like Sunday at PPG Paints Arena, Monster Jam's
Oh my
coming,
God.
yeah.
and it's insane to think those exist.
That was a
Like this
trip.
entertainment.
That was a trip that I went on when I was 3 years old. That's signed by the driver at the time, Dennis Anderson. My
Oh my
parents
God.
took me to North Carolina where he's got like his garage, and I met the guy.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
remember anything,
Oh.
but I met the guy.
I don't get how they even do that. Like they have to put dirt down in the arena, and like it's insane.
hmm
Like I don't want to go see it personally. I don't give a shit, but like I'm like that's pretty cool on the outside looking in. Like as I like show production and whatnot, I'm like, you guys put monster trucks in an arena? Good for you.
They can't
man.
even
pretty cool.
move. Like the best is when they're like outside. I've seen them on racetracks and I've seen them in arenas, and they can't move in the arenas because it's basketball court size. They can't go anywhere. And also the fumes.
I also don't know how like they don't break their spines on like a daily basis when they land because people forget like gravity's a thing. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, Shane. I didn't know like you frequent like
Well,
monster
I
truck
didn't
shows.
frequent
I knew about
monster
the one
truck
thing.
shows, but
Yeah.
I growing up I was very into monster trucks. Like I like the little collectible diecast ones. I had hundreds of those.
No.
I used to line them up along the coffee table in my living room, and I would put on like Monster Jam shows by myself. That's what I would do in my free time. I don't have time for that anymore. I'm also 19 now. It'd be kind of lame if I was like, I'm lining up my monster trucks today. Glory, clear the schedule. I'm busy.
I personally think they're hilarious now, like as an adult, because like there's that whole thing in like of like the 2000s culture that was like thought to be cool then, but is just funny now.
Mhm.
Like the Skeleton Avenged Sevenfold memes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
those ones. Oh man.
Amazing. So
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Back on track. Sorry.
Okay, cool. No, it's all good. I didn't know if you had anything else to add because then we would go off on a completely other thing, which is completely fine. So while listening to this track, what band or artist influence do you hear the most,
Oy.
If any.
if any?
I was definitely really vibing with Trench by 21 Pilots at the time.
Yeah.
And like I was like, well, he played because like this whole thing started as just me, and then we brought a drummer on, and then like we couldn't find other band members. So I'm like, well, let's try a bass out, because I didn't want to just stand on stage with a drummer. That would have been fucking weird. But I'm like, I gotta play an instrument. I can't play guitar and sing. Well, I can now, but I couldn't then. So I'm like, let's try bass. And I obviously took inspiration from that. I was a huge fan of like analog 70s synth sounds. So I bought a Prophet synthesizer. Did a lot of synth work on that. And all the sounds that you hear on that track were actually made by me.
Oh, wow.
I was like very pretentious and was like, I'm going to program my own synths for this one and make them from scratch. But who else? Like, I mainly just will pick like just random tracks or from different times and just put the instrumentals together that way. Like I just knew I wanted just analog synths, bass, and drums, but like definitely feels like a 21 Pilots ripoff track, but it is what it is. You know, you gotta learn somewhere. I still like the track. The way we play it now live is a full band with guitars and stuff. We've debated like going back to redo it, but I guess that's that. But can't really pin it down to a certain person just because I was still figuring it out at the time, like who do I want to be, you know?
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's fair.
So is this single leading up to anything bigger? Album, EP?
Oh, yes. It is leading up to hopefully an album, but definitely an EP. The worst case scenario. Because we're just sitting on like a lot of unreleased music at the moment. And last year some stuff came up with a show that was going to happen did happen. And we kind of got our time wasted there with that. We couldn't release stuff. And then we had to, get rid of our previous management. So there was time wasted there. And then just the process of getting started up with Mark and Josh, and they've been all very thorough and hardworking to get it, back up and running and, figuring out what to do there. So it's just been a lot of time of sitting on songs that we want to have out. So it's just like, we'll know by the end of this month, like what's going on in terms of, record labels and whatnot. But after that, it's like, okay, we're putting out this catalog of songs that we've been like sitting on for well over a year. But
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's torture. It's
Yeah.
when you really want something out, because like there's one song that we really, really like, and a lot of people that we show it to really, really like it. Like it was going to be released and then it had to get pulled because of the show that we were going to be on. I can't say what show it was on, but it was like, 50 states competing and whatnot. And, but that got pulled, and then like that came and went. We were going to release it a second time, and we had to pull it again. And then third time, Mark was like, hey, you should probably keep this one a little bit longer and let us see what we can do with that. And it's like, all right, third time. All right, I guess. So fourth time's hopefully the charm on that one, but it'll be coming out with the EP. But it's been teased on social media a good bit. But
all right, very exciting.
Just kind of sitting on my hands at this point, figuring all the other stuff out.
Yeah.
Totally get that. Like, because the last artist we just interviewed, their album took 4 years to come out because of just like bouncing around and shit. So it's like tonight has been just talking to people that like their hands are tied with this shit and they just can't put out what they want to put out.
Yeah, it's rough. I would really like to put things out quicker than I do, but it's also like trying to find the best way, because you can only write a song once and you can't re-release it and get the same attention off the bat. It's because you could almost waste songs by not releasing them correctly, which is rough. But it is what it is. Hopefully, what we're hoping to do is get a more consistent release schedule going, because just want to keep putting music out.
Fair enough.
Sure, yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, this is gonna give me a lot of weird looks, but it's something my girlfriend just put me onto. Cowtails. Ooh, I don't know why those are hitting the spot right now, but like I'll go into Sheets if I'm like ever getting a sweet tooth, get one of those big ass bottles of like Deer Park water and Cowtails, and they're just so odd that they're good. Like it like because she's like, oh, you ever have these before? And I'm like, no, I've never. I don't even know what these are, but they're like caramel stick things with stuff, and you can like set on the bag. It's like you can put them in the microwave for like 3 seconds to warm them up, and I'm like, that's very odd, but let's try that out. And that was even better, but I don't know. They're little mini cowtails, and they are pretty. I'm not going to swear, but pretty darn great.
You can
I'm
curse.
pretty,
Yeah,
sure
you can
I'm
swear.
pretty sure we've already sworn, but I didn't
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah.
You
I
can
don't
say
know
the
why
fuck
I'm
word.
like,
It's okay.
Yeah, say it.
I can say fuck. Cool.
Yeah.
Fuck. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
We're just straight Pittsburgh through and through. So I'd say we're just straight up a Primanti sandwich because there's so much just odd stuff crammed into this thing in terms of sounds, because we have some songs that sound like some things and then others that aren't in the same genre and whatnot. So we're just kind of a mishmash of all the things we kind of like to do. And then all the unreleased music is also another big old step away from, well, not step away, but it's just newer sound. And we just love where we're from, even though like the outskirts are a bit, not cool. Pittsburgh itself is a cool town, cool culture. It's so. Plus, we all love Primanti sandwiches.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Perfect.
Like Zach's got the same like Pittsburgh zombie capital of the world shirt that he like brings with him anywhere he goes, and it's funny, But Primanti's all the way,
All right.
Love
You
it.
guys have had Primanti's, right? And
I've
no,
never.
yes, no.
No.
Oh, do you guys know what it is? It's like a
No clue.
It
We're
is.
just sitting here going,
It's our weird excuse to call like food. It's like a old timey sandwich, like, and I'm talking like the most janky Italian bread, but it's awesome. That you pick your choice of like meat. They put coleslaw on it. They put French fries on it, and they stuff the living hell out of this thing. Like it's called this like a stuffed sandwich, I guess. And it's so unique and bizarre, but we love it. Let me pull up Google real quick, get the actual definition of a Primanti sandwich.
So you said meat, coleslaw, and fries?
In the sandwich, yes. It is Primanti Brothers. Oh my god, that's a monstrosity of a sandwich, but oh, it's so good. I wish I could like screen share right now and just pull up what this is.
Is it active for you? Can you try?
Oh, I can try to. Yeah, real quick.
We've never done this before.
I keep forgetting that.
Oh my god. Respectfully, sorry.
Are you looking it up? Oh yeah, it says host disabled participant screen sharing, but like, let me see how good my camera is. If you guys can't, well, if people are watching this, I want them to see what a Primanti sandwich is too. I keep forgetting that like it's local to Pittsburgh, but it's like
the people are already
thing.
looking it up. If they got past the 20-minute tangent about social media and politics, they've already looked it up.
Yeah, no, it is a monster of a sandwich.
It kind of scares me a little bit.
Like,
holy fucking
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's that old, like just straight up loaf Italian. Like there's a guy that just sits there with a knife and just chops the bread right in front of you, and there's just crumbs all over the place. But if you guys come to Pittsburgh at any point or see a Primanti's like anywhere outside the Western PA area, definitely go there because it looks bad. You feel bad after eating it because it's a lot of grease and a lot of whatnot, but ooh, those blissful seconds of eating that and doing harm to your body. But
it looks like it'd be dry, but I'm assuming the coleslaw would take care of that, right?
Yeah, coleslaw definitely brings a lot to it. The fryer grease, I guess, brings a lot to it. But yeah, definitely the next. It's definitely not a leftover food because of the fries and whatnot.
No,
Like
imagine warming that
you're
up.
throwing it out.
Oh,
yeah.
That's soggy food.
Absolutely,
That's getting soggy as you're eating it.
Yeah, it's like those like homemade fried fries too, like that homey tasting ones, which are like awesome.
Yeah.
Like there's, it's just it tastes like home. It's one of those things.
Right. And that's what the band tastes like, home.
Home.
A nice way to wrap it all back together.
Exactly, that's perfect. So for these last couple questions, we're actually shift away from music, if that's okay with you. Great.
Awesome.
So we're actually gonna go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Not gonna be a Romani sandwich. I'll say that.
Mhm.
Ooh. Ah, eesh. All right, I would just tell him to bring me a bunch of Crunchwrap Supremes and like a
Yeah.
Monster peach tea. Like,
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm weird like that. Like I'd like Taco Bell's awesome, love it. Like it's the not comfort. It's like the I'm gonna be destructive today to myself and just go make a bad decision and go get like a Crunchwrap Supreme. I don't know like what it is about it. It's so bad it's good. And I'm like a caffeine addict too. And Monster, it's called Monster Rehab like peach tea. It's like coconut water peach
Ooh.
tea with caffeine. So like I take a sip of that and my brain's like, this is fucking awesome, dude.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
oh man, caffeine's my crux. Like I gotta have that shit or I will go insane. Have you ever tried to quit caffeine?
I'm not a big caffeine person.
Oh, lucky you, because it is the second most traded commodity in the world behind oil, and
Wow.
they will never talk about how it's actually like kind of bad for you because of the effect it has on like day-to-day living, energy, mental health. I've quit it before, like straight up cold turkey, and it's like a month of feeling like actual hell, and then like 2 months of just actual serious depression because but if you ever
It's just a legal drug. That's what it is.
if you ever want to sleep, oh yeah, it's a straight up drug, and they'll never do anything to stop that. It's because it's not as harmful as cigarettes. It's not actually killing you, and it sells more than cigarettes too. So it's. But if you ever want to sleep greater than you've ever slept in your life, just quit caffeine cold turkey. That first night, you won't sleep at all because your brain's like, give me that shit. That second night, you'll go to bed at like 9 o'clock sharp, and you'll get the best sleep of your life and have the greatest dreams.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you'll fall right back into it.
Yeah.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, if it's for a week. Well, I don't want to say Fallout New Vegas because that means I would have to like kill things, and I don't want to kill things, but like it's for a week though. I would like to see what like Fallout New Vegas. I don't know what brought me back into that game, but like nostalgia for me there. All my friends love Fallout. You know what? I'll do better, and I'll say probably Skyrim because I feel like that one's a little cooler than like the world ended and there's mutants and radiation everywhere, even though it's just for a week. Because like I like fantasy elements. My girlfriend has been playing the hell out of Skyrim for the past like 6 months. She's like, I told her about it, and she's like, I've never played this before. I'm like, yeah, you probably would like it, and then it became like her entire existence. So
you can barely talk to her. She's always busy on Skyrim.
Oh yeah. Now she discovered Elder Scrolls Online, so now there's that. So it's
Yeah, you lost her.
Yeah.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
red.
You have a specific shade of red?
I like it when it's darker red, but like that's like no. The quickest question I can answer is red is always my favorite color, no matter what. Like I don't know. It's just the color of passion, anger, but like power too. It's like it's just such a I don't know. I just like red.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All strong emotions come in red. Like yeah, blue's cool. Blue, you can feel sad with blue. You can have a blue sky, but like anything that's red is usually like if it's glowing red, it's like 3,000 degrees or whatever. If I just like red,
Yeah. It's perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Red's good.
So as Gloria said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Like other people I could shout out.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we got Caleb Kopta in Pittsburgh. We got Cajon Concept also in Pittsburgh. Short Fictions is dope. Who else off the top?
I
of
love
my
short
head?
fiction too.
Yeah, I was gonna say we love them.
Who off the top of my head? Fuller out in Los Angeles and Mickey James in Brooklyn, New York.
Nice. All right.
Perfect.
Oh, well, thank you for now. This has been Dominic from the Ghost Club, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.